This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning. In the morning.
Shake your body.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out your eyes.
Today, Tracy G, we have very special guests to join us for Celebrity Wire.
Yeah, because Sway, you're going to be able to stunt because yesterday we spoke about Black Twitter 100. This was a list that Hip Hop Wired put out. And we know Twitter, for better or for worse, is an extension of our lives, especially when it comes to covering Black entertainment. And Sway, you were #1 for the music mavens, and I think #1 overall. So we have Alvin Blanco, who is the deputy editor over at Hip Hop Wired, and also we have Raven Carter, who's director of original content for Moguldom Media, which houses Hip Hop Wired.
Well, welcome to the show, you guys.
Peace. Thank you for having us.
What's going on?
You know, first of all, I'm honored to hold that title momentarily, or however long this is. Do I need to
put a year? You got a year run.
I got a year run.
Yeah.
Sway, run your laps.
We need to have a party.
No, I didn't get a crown or nothing for this. I didn't even have to wave at the audience to kiss babies.
I know.
Let me ask you this: what is the criteria? I know when we do our hottest MCs list at MTV, as always, you know, you get a lot of backlash, you get a lot of people want to input. It's always so accurate, though. What is your criteria? Because there are people on the list who obviously don't have as many followers as others, and some people are more visible who are, you know, further down the list than others. How did you come up with this list, and what was the criteria, Alvin? Let's start with you.
Well, I mean, when we were discussing who was going to make the list, we definitely looked at, you know, numbers as far as followers. We also looked at who was following them, how engaged their followers are with them. You have plenty of people that have a lot of followers, but they might say something and it's just like crickets.
Yeah.
You know, but so yeah, just you know, what they do. Do they have a real job, or are they just tweeting? Like, do they have actual influence? You know, like we took all of that into account, and then, you know, when we tossed all the names out there, you know, we had the 4 categories. We had the music mavens, cultural commentators, slander kings, which and fashion killers. Yeah, so, you know, we felt that those 4 segments kind of broke down or gave you a wide swath of what Black Twitter is. So then, you know, when we were looking at music mavens, you definitely came up. And you know, just looking at your track record, looking at what you do, like, you know, it was just an easy choice.
Easy.
He said easy Raven.
So did anyone get pissed off by their absence in the list?
There were a few people that caught feelings. You know, I ain't gonna put them out there, but I mean, it is what it is.
Who caught feelings?
Like, was it more celebrities or bloggers?
Some bloggers definitely caught feelings. Celebrity bloggers particularly might have caught some feelings, but, you know, it is what it is. You'll be on there next year.
Tell the truth. I mean, let me ask you this, Raven, because there are people, I have a theory about followers, because there are folks who have 1 billion followers, but are impotent when it comes to you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to, like what you said, when they say some people might have got followers years ago. Right? And so the number looks big, but are those followers still active? Do you guys, y'all took that into account too as well, right?
Definitely. We take that into account. I think definitely what Alvin was saying, you want your followers to be engaged. You want the people with the Twitter handles, these mavens, these killers, you want them to be engaged as well. So it's a community. If there is dialogue, then you're making the list.
Yeah, there it is.
In your guys' opinion, how does Twitter stand now in the social media world? Because I feel like Instagram has taken over. Facebook is still the #1 social media site. Is Twitter even really matter?
I think it does matter, because I mean, you have people that are engaged, people that are actively participating. I mean, Instagram definitely took a big chunk of that, and you know, a lot of times they're connected. Like, you know, your Instagram account is going to be connected to your Twitter account is going to be connected to your Facebook account. A lot of people sleep on Facebook because, I mean, I can say definitely when I'm looking at the numbers for Hip Hop Wire, we get a lot of traffic from Facebook, and it's just undeniable. Like, it may seem like, oh, it's for the old fogies, you know, young kids ain't really on Facebook, but a lot of people are really like plugging in and getting their information from Facebook, so you can't deny it.
You know, Raven and Alvin, thank you for showing us, you know, giving us some insight on this list. Where can people find the list, Raven?
You can go to hiphopwire.com. /Black Twitter 100.
Black, and listen, man, there are more black folks on social media than any other sector of nationalities in this country.
Yes.
And so for me being on that list at all, so a lot of my friends are on that list. Miss Info is on that list.
Yes.
Debbie Dev is on that list.
Yep.
Robert Markman is on that list. Elliot Wilson is on that list. All these different people that are, from our community. Thank you. Because I'm taking that list to corporate America and saying, see, I told you. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to get no money from it. Joining us for Celebrity Wire, we have very special guests.
Yes, Alvin Blanco and Raven Carter, both from Mogul Media and Hip Hop Wired.
HipHopWire.com. Make sure you check that out. All right? What you got, Tracy G?
Ray J, the young thugger. So yesterday we talked about how he has 10 criminal charges against him.
Yep.
One of them was for sexual assault because he allegedly grabbed this woman's ass while he was at a bar. Yeah. He says that it was incidental, that it was not done purposely. And then the judge was like, all right, fine, but there's surveillance cameras.
Oh.
And the judge is like, all right, well, maybe that was by accident brushing up on the derriere, but what about you grabbing on someone's boob?
That came out on camera?
Yeah, so that's what's being used against him. So he has these 4 misdemeanors that include assault, battery, and that sexual battery is not going to go away.
Alvin, you saw the sex tape with Ray J and Kim from years ago, right?
I saw snippets.
You saw snippets, right?
Yeah, snippets.
And if Ray J approached you and wanted to grab you on the ass, would you let that go?
Nah, I wouldn't slide.
Your breast? Nothing?
Nah, not happening.
You wouldn't be happy about that?
Nah, I wouldn't be happy about that.
All right, cool. I'm just curious, Alvin. All right, no problem.
Now, moving on to Bow Wow. It's interesting because Bow Wow, he recently announced that he wants people referring to him as Shad Moss. That's his real name, his government. So you would think maybe this would signify, a surge in his maturity level. But instead, he's putting all his sexcapades on blast. So, he hosts 106 in Park, but he took a break from his hosting duties to go over to Wildin' Out on MTV. And he was doing a segment called Plead the Fifth, and he was asked who gives the best head between his 2 exes, Ciara or Rev Run's daughter, Angela Simmons. Now, Nick Cannon, he tried to help Bow Wow out by saying, plead the fifth, dog, plead the fifth. But this is what Bow did instead.
At one time, they both was my women, correct? Correct. So if you put 1 and 1 together, of course, we must have been doing the do if they was with my women, correct? Correct. Well, then I might as well go ahead and keep it even. They both is mighty swell.
There's nothing G about that. I don't, Bow Wow's the homie too. Chad is the homie, but when you air out that kind of dirty laundry, I find that to be, I wouldn't do that to a woman personally, especially someone who's in the public eye.
Especially someone whose father is a reverend.
Especially someone who's pregnant.
It's Rev Run's daughter who's an icon. It's, Future's baby mama. Like, you got to have some level of respect.
You got to, it's okay to plead the fifth. Like you say, Nick Cannon was saying plead the fifth.
Yeah.
It's okay to plead the fifth.
Yeah.
But now you opened up Pandora's box because they could speak on you too.
And now you ain't going to have certain guests on 106 in Park.
Yeah. Right. It's a good point, man.
That's true.
Look at that. Now, T.I. and Tiny, we know a lot of their business has been put on Front Street.
Wait, hold up. Heather, you didn't comment on that.
HB.
You were actually at that episode, right?
I was there.
Okay.
And I watched the entire thing from beginning to end. I have issues with television, and I just think everything is written and always done for shock value. I don't believe any of it. I think it was all staged.
You think it was all staged?
All of it, even Nick saying plead the fifth. It makes for good television. It's called Wildin' Out.
Yeah.
You're not going to get on the show and plead the fifth on the show called Wildin' Out. You got to wild out.
Got to wild out?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
all right.
That's
too
TV.
much.
That makes it even worse, though. But something that's really bad as well, depending on your opinion of it, T.I. and Tiny, they all put their business out there for everybody to analyze, for everyone to have an opinion out. There are all these reports that Floyd Mayweather was banging Tiny, then that was like a lie, then T.I. was cheating on Tiny, and they're both putting that on Instagram as well, but they've taken their love and put it on wax. The problems, the good times. T.I., he has a song called Stay, and he pretty much goes down memory lane. He's recalling all these experiences, the good times he's had with Tiny, and trying to keep their relationship patched together. This is what that sounds like.
Man, I'm tired of telling lies. Know you sick of playing games. Remember when you got a tattoo, put my name on it. Put you in a wedding dress with a train on it. I went and spent a whole meal just to go chill in Miami, and I be damned if she don't know my love real.
All right.
And then, so that was good, right?
Yeah.
He's going the
It's
route.
like a love song.
Yes, he's going the route of redemption, of, just trying to keep the relationship resilient. Now, Tiny, we haven't heard her sing in a while. Remember, she's an original member of Escape, and she did a track herself. It's called What You Gonna Do? And it didn't really go the positive route. She has a music video that also includes somebody that looks like T.I., and this is what she said on her record.
What did she say?
She said, what the fuck you gonna do?
You gonna do?
Yeah, and they both kind of touched on cheating that was happening on T.I.'s part.
Yeah.
And her saying, if you don't get it together, guess who's gonna be pieced out for life?
Wow, Raven, you ever been in a relationship where somebody kind of spoke about your intimate relationship to other folks and made it public?
Not as public as this. Now, I'm with Heather B on this. I think this is all for entertainment.
Really?
I feel like they have some album sales they trying to get up. Keep that like family business thing going. I actually don't mind Tiny's song. It's kind of old school R&B, a little more ratchet.
Yeah,
but it's okay. I just think it's all for show at this point.
Do you mind if somebody, like, after you break up with somebody, they had the liberty to say whatever they want to? Do you mind that?
I would mind. I would mind, but I don't know. If I was in the spotlight and I had something to promote, maybe I wouldn't mind as much.
Wouldn't mind as much. All right. And we were just talking about a story with T.I. and Tiny.
Yes, who have no problem with different hands and opinions in the relationship. Because T.I., he put out a record called Stay. And then Tiny, she put out a record called What the Fuck You Gonna Do?
Now, Raven said, I wouldn't want one of my exes to be putting out my business of what we did in the bedroom, right?
Right. That's correct.
Yeah. Alvin didn't particularly care because he feel like it's gonna make him be the man, right? right, Alvin? Right?
I mean, as long as the report is good, it's cool. But I'm a married man now, so you just gotta show respect to the wife.
Hey,
good point, man. Good point.
That's true.
All right, yeah, you just scored a lot of points right there. All right, Candy's on the line from Iowa. Any of you guys had this happen where somebody just kind of spilled the beans on your relationship? Candy, good morning. How you doing, Candy?
I am doing well. How are you guys today?
Doing well. What happened, Candy?
Actually, we worked together. I was like 17 years old. We worked at a movie theater, and we were all friends. I was dating actually a friend of his, and come to find out years later, because we knew the same circle of people, he had told people that we had sex all in the theater and did all kinds of things. I never even looked at this man, and I wasn't.
So he was lying on the D, Heather B. Yeah, that's against code right there.
That's against the code.
Yeah, and then how did you find out years later?
I found out years later because, again, a friend of mine, they were looking at my pictures on Facebook. He was like, yeah, I hit that. And, got to telling all these details to a whole group of people that I knew. And it was like, he called me, asked me, like, what's going on? And I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe he would even say something like that.
That's kind of corny. Alvin, you never done that? You never lied on the D?
Never done that. Never done that. And
Okay.
I've heard of tales of dudes making stuff like up. It's just despicable.
It's despicable, right?
Yeah.
That ain't
It's
G
no
code, right? No
not
G
at all.
code,
Not
man.
at all.
Coming from two G's right here, Heather B. All right,
see it.
Candy, you're a citizen.
I Sway in the morning.
We got Nate on the line from Cleveland. You ever have an ex-girlfriend blab about your relationship?
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. She got me good. I had a little ex-girlfriend back in the day, and I keep it real. I just lost my virginity to this young lady.
Okay.
And, we still in school and everything, man. And the first time was great. The second time, I was quick on the draw, came extra fast. And then the next,
Well, Nate, when you say extra fast, how fast are we talking, Nate? 10 seconds?
Man,
30 seconds?
I'm talking like 5.
Yeah.
It was all bad, man. Like 5 seconds, man. And the next day, I'm walking around school. They like 1, 2, 3 bucks.
Yeah, you got to get extra credit.
Yo, man. Hey, Nate, you got to work on your citizenship. We can't give him citizenship. We have to deny. Heather want to deny you your citizenship, Nate. I hope it's gotten better since then for your sake, Nate. All right?
Love you, though.
All right, man.
My man. All right. Okay, Nate, man, at least he was honest about it.
Kept it real.
Hey, yo, listen, it's a bunch of guys sitting in their car right now, listening on their phones at work, and that happened to them too, Heather. That's his first time.
5 seconds?
Yeah.
That's like a look. That's a lot, but it's a little bit.
Yo, look, every guy in this room is quiet as hell right now, right?
Yeah, so this is very interesting. So, you know, Spike Lee, legendary director. Let me bring you back to a movie he did in 2000, Bamboozled. Michael Rappaport was a part of it.
Yeah.
They are both very outspoken men, adamant about their beliefs, and they're battling over gentrification. Now, gentrification is basically a shift in the urban community where you have wealthier residents or businesses that are coming in. It increases the property value. Some people feel like it displaces a lot of the urban community. Michael Rappaport, his side of it.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you know, people who live there, indigenous to that region, can no longer afford to live there.
Right.
Because of the commerce that's coming through. And then it changes the complexion of the neighborhood.
But then you have
landscape.
some people who feel like it will bring a spur to economic development, crime rates go down, you have all these businesses that are surging, things of that nature. Michael Rappaport, he was doing an interview with Huffington Post, and he called Spike Lee a shit stain for his opinion on it. He said that Spike lives on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. The majority of those neighborhoods that have been gentrified have been abandoned. It's good that it gets better. So his side is, you know, he's not opposed to it. He's definitely on the pros. And then Spike Lee says Rappaport doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. What Michael Rappaport left out because he's stupid are the people who could no longer afford to live in Williamsburg, who could no longer afford to live in Fort Greene, who could no longer afford to live in Clinton Hill, do not know where they can afford to live now.
They don't. They don't know where to go. And listen, by my personal experience, where I lived at on top of where Harlem begins.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump came over there and bought up some property, and President Bill Clinton came up and bought some property, and the property value escalated, and the rents doubled. And people that I watched for the past 15 years live in this neighborhood was forced to move out because they could no longer afford it, which means they couldn't really benefit from the neighborhood becoming
Spike, right?
From it being blossoming. Even I just moved further uptown where it was a little cheaper, and I always wondered, being from Cali, how in the hell do people in New York even afford to live in these neighborhoods? You know, so it is an issue. It is a problem. You go to Williamsburg now. You went to Williamsburg 10 years ago, or even Fort Greene. Is it not Fort Greene?
Clinton Hills.
Clinton Hills. You know, and you see, it's a totally different place, and it does look great, and it does look better. But the people who lived there for so many years can't benefit from it. What do you do with that?
Right. Yeah, I know a big thing that Spike had a problem with too was like, why must it be when, you know, when the complexion of the neighborhood changes, that suddenly all the services are there. Suddenly, you know, the cops are coming around to stop crime. Suddenly your garbage is getting picked up on time. Like, why does that need to happen? And then, you know, it's a shame because, you know, the people that gave the neighborhood the flavor, that made it, you know, the go-to destination, can't even live there anymore.
So it's an interesting topic. Tracy G, thank you very much. Thank our guests for coming by here, too.
Thank you, Alvin. Thank you, Raven. So where can they reach y'all on social media?
I'm at Raven Carter on Instagram and at Talk to Raven on Twitter.
Okay.
I'm at Aqua174 on Twitter, Alvin Blanco on Instagram, and you know, make sure you log into hiphopwired.com, hiphopwired for everything. Instagram,
so you guys couldn't include yourselves in the Black Twitter 100, right? That would be biased.
Yeah, I'd be biased.
Maybe a little corny too.
That'll be cheating. No, all right, you guys, thank you for coming by. Check out that hiphopwired.com. Check out these lists. See who's making moves. And thank you guys once again.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shea 45.